Welcome back, my goons, to another video about the NFL. Today we're gonna do way too early record predictions. So we're gonna go from like worst to the league to best in the league, in my opinion. So if you want to follow along for which teams I mentioned yet or haven't mentioned yet, try and do that. Because always remember, my opinions are very unbiased. Let's get into this video. So first we've got the 1-16 tier. I think the Colts and the Buccaneers are both going to be 1-16 this year. If you want more reasons, check out my previous video, thumbnail right there, and link should be in the description on most of my reasons. I'll give like brief explanations here and there, but other than that, you should probably check out that video. So first, I've got the main reason I've got the Colts pretty low is mainly because I just don't think they've got what it takes to succeed. They've got Jonathan Taylor, who's extremely talented. He's very good, but I just don't think that can save your entire team, especially when you've got Matt Ryan and practically no head coach. Well, no, they do have the U.S. offensive coordinator, but that's pretty much it. And then I've also got the Buccaneers, mainly because the only thing they've really got, they're in the same situation as the Raiders. They've got nothing except for a very good receiver. That's basically it. But their situation is a lot worse because they have a very aging team that needs rebuilding, like starting this season. Because otherwise, you're not making it anywhere within the next decade. Next, let's move up to 4-13. I've got the Bears, the Rams, and the Raiders in 4-13. First off, let's go with the Bears. The Bears, I didn't mention this in the previous video, but they've got like $100 million in cap space. That's pretty much how much you're allowed to spend. So I think if they succeed in the draft and they use their cap to re-sign valuable players and B, free agents, I think they can somewhat succeed, but I highly doubt they'll do that. They'll do better than last year, but barely. Then I've also got the Rams in 4-13. I just mainly think that they wasted the next 3 years of their future just to make it and win the Super Bowl, which it's kind of a smart idea, but it's kind of not a smart idea because you're stuck in a place where you can't really do anything, and you're just laughed at by the rest of the league. And I've also got the Raiders in 4-13. I think what I said about the Buccaneers, but it's a little better because their defense is somewhat okay-ish, and they've got Devontae Adams, who I think Aaron Rodgers might go to the Raiders. Probably not. I think he'll go to the Jets, in my personal opinion, but I just don't think that'll happen. Next, let's move up to 5-12. And here I've got the Browns, the Packers, the Texans, the Patriots, and the Saints. Let's start off with the Browns. I personally think the Browns, they traded their whole future for Deshaun Watson, and that did not work out at all. So you just gotta kind of hope the draft goes okay, and maybe pick up a free agent or two, but I don't think anybody is really interested in the Browns at this moment. I also got the Packers in here, mainly because I'm not biased, and because they're gonna lose Rodgers, they're gonna lose Allen Lazard. I mean, Romeo Doubs looks like he could be successful in the future, but I just think this team will succeed without Rodgers. The Texans, I think the Texans can really turn around this season. I think they can show that they've got some fight in them. I think they can show that they are worthy of being one of the best. But we just kind of got to wait and see. I also put the Patriots down in 5-12, mainly because this year they looked pretty bad. I mean, they did get rid of Matt Patricia, who was their main problem, but I don't know. I just don't think they can really do anything to help their case at the moment. And then I've also got the Saints in this tier, mainly because I think I just don't think the Saints are going to be able to do anything this year. Maybe if Michael Thomas is healthy and they can snag a quarterback, then maybe something will work out. But Alvin Kamara is currently in jail, so that will not help them out. Next, we're going to 6 and 11, and I've got the Falcons and the Broncos. Start off with the Falcons. I just think the Falcons will get lucky, win a game, and be better than the Saints. I just don't think I think they'll be lucky enough to be 6 and 11. And the Broncos, I think it'd be pretty funny if the Broncos scored one more game than they did last season, just because they were all hyped up. Or they're kind of hyped up. It's like a same cycle as last year. But I don't know. Next in 7 and 10, I've got the Cardinals, I've got the Eagles, and I've got the Titans. I'll start off with the Cardinals. I think they made the right move in hiring the defensive coordinator from the Eagles. But I don't know. Without J.J. Watt, this defense may not be as good. But they can probably pick up somebody in the draft. I don't know. Next, I got the Eagles. They lost their offensive and defensive coordinator. I just don't think they'll be able to reach the amount of success they had last year. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders, they're all really good on offense. Like it's very how do I say this? Their offense is very good, and their defense was extremely good this year. 70 sacks in one season. Holy smokes. That is just bonkers, in my opinion. But the fact that the defense struggled so much in the Super Bowl in the second half, mainly because the Chiefs are a second half team. I wouldn't say that anybody has won if they're down by halftime against the Chiefs, or if the Chiefs are down by halftime against any other team, because they thrive in the second half. I remember this in the Super Bowl 54 season. I remember watching the Chiefs and the Titans game. The Titans were, I think the final score was like 37 to 40 to 57, because I remember they were down by a lot at halftime, and they soared all the way up to an easy victory by 20. And then I was watching the Super Bowl, and I knew the Chiefs would win because their second half team. I saw that they were down at half. I said, you know what, they're coming back. I just went on a whole rant about the Chiefs. We'll get into them later. And then I've also got the Titans in here. I just think they'll be more successful than the Titans. I just think the Titans will be more successful than the Texans and the Colts, but nowhere near the success of the Jaguars. Now let's move up to 8 and 9. In this kind of tier, I've got the Dolphins and the Steelers. Let's start off with the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a very good team when healthy. I said the exact same thing in my video from a couple days ago. Last week, that's when it was. When this video was posted. Either way, I just think the Dolphins may not be as good as they were last year. We just gotta wait and see. Next, I've got the Steelers. Now the Steelers, they're a good team. You know, I just don't think they've got what it takes to become like a playoff level team. You know what I mean? So next, in 9 and 8, I've got the Ravens, I've got the Chargers, I've got the Seahawks, and I've got the Commanders. Let's start off with the Ravens. The reason I put the Ravens in 8 and 9 is because we saw what happened. I think they'll find a way to get Lamar his money so he can stay on the Ravens. But what I also think could happen is they could have a Seahawks situation when they got. So let's say Lamar packs up shop and goes to the Raiders. I definitely changed my rankings, but we're not talking about that right now. They could have like a Seahawks situation, and they could have Tyler Huntley, and he could be pretty successful, like Geno Smith. But I just don't think that can happen. The Seahawks are a much better team than the Ravens, but this is just hypothetically, you know what I mean? This is if Lamar stays on the Ravens. Next, I've got the Chargers. The Chargers are, they're a flawed team, you know what I mean? They've got what it takes to make it to the playoffs. They just don't have what it takes to win a playoff game. Let's go to the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a good team. Pretty much that's what I'll be saying for the rest of the teams from now on. Pretty much. But other than that, I think they can thrive this year. And then next I got the Commanders. I just think they'll be better this year. I don't think they'll go 7-9-1. But yeah. Next we'll move up to 10-7. I've got the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Giants, and the Jets. Let's start with the Panthers. The Panthers nearly, they were so close to getting the NFC South this year. It was just one Tom Brady rushing touchdown away. They choked. It happens to the best of our teams. But I just think they can take the division this year. Next, I've got the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars can definitely right the wrongs that they had last season. They definitely turned it around. They majorly turned it around from last year. And from the beginning of the year, kind of like a Lions situation. But other than that, I think they can just thrive or be successful. Next, got the Giants. The Giants proved this year that they have what it takes to be a good playoff team. Now, I don't think they're an outstanding team, but they're a good team. They can definitely do something, especially with Dable, Jones, and Barkley. They just need a receiver, and that's it. And then I've got the Jets. The Jets are such an amazing upcoming team. You'll be sitting here watching this video in next year's offseason, knowing that I said the Jets would be an amazing team. They'll pick up Rodgers. They'll thrive. They will be outstandingly good. They will be amazing. They will dominate a lot of teams, except maybe 7 of them. Well, 6 teams. Next, we'll go up to 11-6 with the Cowboys and the Lions. I think the Cowboys they'll be in the same situation as last year. They'll just keep Dak in and hopefully be better. Let's hope he doesn't get injured again. I think they should get rid of Ezekiel Elliott. He's very hyped up. And then Tony Pollard is underrated. You got 2 running backs you got an overrated and an underrated. Keep the underrated one because Ezekiel can't stay. Next, I've got the Lions. They really turned it around this year. They were 1-6 and then 9-8, beating the Packers in the last game of the season. I remember watching that game. It was a pretty good one. Next, we'll go up to 12-5. I've got the defending Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs, in this year. What I mainly think about the Chiefs is I think they'll be successful again, but I don't think they'll be as successful. I think they're an outstanding team. They're an amazing team. But I just do not think they've got what it takes to go to the Super Bowl again. They'll win their division by outstanding numbers. They'll pretty much crush the rest of them. But I don't think they can make it to the top this year. Next, in 14-3, I've got the Vikings and the Bengals. Let's start off with my home team, the Minnesota Vikings. Now that the Minnesota Vikings had an outstanding offense last year, insanely good offense, in my opinion, which is very unbiased, as I've said many times before. Now that we have Brian Flores, our defense can be good too. Now we can actually win games and be good again. Let's hope. Got a wooden desk. Next, let's go with the Bengals. The Bengals have the best receiving core in the NFL. That is, nobody can change my mind on that. That is a hill I'm willing to die on. Best receiving core in the NFL. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, but I think Josh Allen and Joe Burrow are runner-ups. Other than that, let's move up to the next tier, 15 and 2. I've got the Buffalo Bills in this tier. Now you know which team is coming next, but I'll get on to them. The Buffalo Bills are an insanely terrifying team to face, especially their fans. We're not on to Bills Mafia. But the Bills are just an amazing team this year. Now let's go into who I think will go 17-0 this season, the 49ers. This team is insanely scary. They can get rid of Jimmy G and Trey Lance, get a butt ton out of them, fix whatever problems they might have. But what they do have is the best team in the NFL currently. You may be saying, oh, it's the Super Bowl winners, the Chiefs. No. You may be saying, oh, it's the Super Bowl losers, the Eagles. No, it's the 49ers. They thrived off of a third-string quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy will be the next Tom Brady, and you cannot rival my opinion. It's not even opinion, it's pure fact. That was just my video. I hope you liked it. I'll be doing more videos about this in the future. Next month I'll have power rankings and another record prediction based on how much has changed. But it'll go pretty much every month until the preseason. Then we'll go weekly. For now, goodbye.
All hail Plankton!
What's going on here?
All hail Plankton! Seize him, slaves!